Welcome, everybody. I think we'll go ahead and get started. It's a couple minutes after. This is pretty informal. We just want to give an opportunity for you all to see the system that we're using this year. It is a new system, and so signing in, you're going to have to create an account. So we have Afton here. She's going to help explain that whole system and how that's going to work. And then we'll answer any questions. We'll go over the LOI just briefly and answer any questions you have. So, and Afton, I don't know if you want to. I'm sorry, I'm Tracy Mock. I'm the Agency Relations Manager and Training Manager here at ETOS. Nice to see everybody.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm Afton Baxter. I'm with the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation, and we're hosting the application for ETOS again this year. Tracy, did you want me to go ahead and get started?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. And so hopefully everybody's seeing a login page. And so this is our new site. If you applied to the LOI last year, this will be a different site. However, I think it's been updated on ETA's website, and it's also updated the link to this portal on our own website. So wherever you go, you should find this page rather than the old site. And you'll see this login screen, but I'm guessing since this is new, most people will need to register. So click that register button in the bottom left corner. And almost all of you, I believe, will be this 501c3 public charity. If you happen to be a public school district or a church or religious entity, you can select these. But they're all pretty much the same as far as process goes. So we're going to select this 501c3 registration option. And this just helps you get aligned with the right organizations. So right here, you can either enter your EIN or your organization name. And so I don't remember my EIN, so I'm going to type in my organization name. But either one works, and then just click search. And that should bring up options for you to choose from. Hopefully yours is on there. And if not, if you don't pop up here and you know that you're a 501c3, you can click this link to add yourself. But most of you should be in the IRS database, and it will come up here with all of your information. And so when you find it, just click on that organization that is yours, and it should autofill a lot of your contact information. You do have the option to edit it though, and this will help you in the future. This information will be in your application, so it's worth taking the time to review it and make sure your primary location is right. And then as you scroll further down, we just ask that you list your primary leader. If awarded, this would be the person that would probably sign your grant agreement. So we just want their name and email address. That's really all it's needed for right now. And then the applicant contact is you. And so this is part of you registering as well. You'll enter your name, your email, everything. This will, one, help you register, and also it'll help ETAS be able to follow up with you later on if they had questions about your application. And then once all that's filled out, anything with the red asterisk, you can select that you're not a robot and hit submit. And that should send you an email. So you won't create a password yet. It'll be submitted. It'll send you a little message that says you will receive an email in about 5 minutes to finish creating your account. And it should look like this. It's a pretty basic email, and it just asks you to follow this link to create a password. And so once you do that, it'll send you back basically to a registration type page. You'll create your own password for the account, and then it will log you right into the site as an applicant, which will look like this. And so you'll see that most of you won't have anything here yet. An action item will always be anything that's in progress. So once you've started this LOI, it will appear here as an action until you've submitted it. And then it will appear here at the bottom as a completed item. And that's where it will just live until any further action might be needed on it. So to find the ETAS application, click the Grant Opportunities tab here in the top left. And you can find it by their lovely logo shows up here. And we recommend reading this program overview. And it just gives a little snippet of what we'll talk about today, but the basic eligibility instructions and the basic timeline, just to give you a good idea of if you should apply and what you might be applying for based on their focus areas. And then it also has Tracy's contact information here and ETA's website if you want more information. And then when you're done with that, by clicking Apply Now, this will take you into the beginning of the LOI process. So you'll see here, everything is blank. So the first thing you need to do to be able to access any of this is click this Save Draft button at the bottom. And what that does really is it just opens up this form. So if you just got in here today to start the form and don't have time to complete anything else on it, this will hold it as an in-progress form in your account. So we recommend just hitting that Save Draft button once. It'll save it in your account. And whenever you scroll down now, you'll see that all of that contact information that you entered earlier is here listed. So it populates a little better for you. And then another important thing on the left-hand side here, anytime throughout this LOI, you can find the Invitations tab. And this is a great place to add anybody who's going to be involved on this application or just this project that you want them to receive notifications about this LOI. So that could be somebody who's going to work on the LOI with you, or is it just somebody who's working closely with the project that you want them to stay up to date? Either way, you can list them out here and send them an invite, and that will just prompt them to be able to create an account. And whether or not they go through the full process, they will still be on the list to receive emails about this LOI. So then going back to the main button is always where you're going to find this LOI. So there's nothing else you need to do on this contact information page except see that all of your information is listed there. And then you can move on at the top to clicking on LOI. And this application will build questions as you answer them for a little bit. So there are a couple of eligibility type questions to help you identify your own eligibility. And based on how you answer, you might receive some more questions so you can continue with the application. So there's 3 questions like that, and then the rest of these LOI questions do appear. And so they'll ask you to identify any of the priorities that you align with or this project aligns with that are priorities of ETAS. And you can select as many as you want for this project. And then the second half is you explaining in more text detail about this program or project. So you can give it a title, how much you're requesting funding for, and then describing how the funding will be used and more specific details about that. And then you can also toggle over to the Uploads and Attachments tab here at the top. And they've just asked for a couple of uploads with the LOI. If you file a Form 990 of any version, they ask that you upload that here. And then your organization annual budget, if that could also be uploaded here. Those are the 2 things they're asking for, and PDF, Word documents, or Excel sheets are all accepted. If there's a different file type, I would like to know if that's something that there's a different file type you wish it was accepted. Since this is a new site, I would like to know, maybe we can get that added in as another accepted type as well. And so once all the required fields are filled out, again, that's anything with a red asterisk, you'll be able to hit submit. Anytime throughout this process, you can of course hit save draft, and that will save your process. So you can come back later and pick up where you left off. And then whenever you are ready to submit, the submit button is there and you'll be good to go. It'll submit it. Something different from this portal from the last one is, I think you'll remember that not everybody could submit on the last one. This one, you should not have that issue. So even if you have a few people working on this form, anybody should be able to submit the LOI. So hopefully whenever it comes, deadline time, nobody can panic. Hopefully everybody will submit. But if you have any questions about the site or how it's working, you can always contact us at the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation, and we can help you navigate the site. Tracy, was there anything else you would like to add about this?
If an agency wants to ask for funding for a couple of different programs, they would do a separate LOI for each, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And so this will just be my test project 1. And so I want to save my progress on that. And then I have a second project. I can go up to this home button in the top left and you'll see here that test project 1 is still in progress. And then go back to the grant opportunities page. And you can apply now. And basically that will create a second form for you to do a test project 2 and so on. So yeah, you'll create a new one each time and it will save them individually each time also.
Great. I think this is slightly different than last year, but it was very confusing trying to do one application for an organization and then have several programs listed. So we're just going to do this as separate applications for each. You will find that the LOI is shorter, little less information needed. So please take advantage of that. You don't have to fill up every single word that it's asked for. That's just kind of a limit. So we just want to have a good idea about what your ask is for this year. Kind of gives us an idea of who's asking and how much people are asking for, and do they align with the priorities that we have listed. So are there any questions that anyone has so far for either Afton or myself? Okay, you don't have to be shy. If you have something, just ask.
Will the recording of this meeting be posted on our website?
It sure will, Alex. Thank you for asking. As soon as I figure out how to do that, of course.
Could you show again how to do a second LOI?
Yeah, sure. Yes, so I'm in progress on one right now. So you can always click save draft on the current one that you're working on. And then there is a home tab in the top left here. And if you click on that, that will bring you back to this page of anything in progress so far. And then for a brand new application form, go to this grant opportunities tab. And then find that ETAS opportunity again and just hit apply now again. Hitting that apply now button will create a new application each time. So by doing that, that will create a third one for me now.
You'll find helpful information along the way. kind of like any of the highlights that you see. There's the procedures are listed. There's information about the priorities and sort of definitions of the priorities, and then some examples of some things we potentially would fund. So those are just there for you to review as you need. We also have these on our website. So the ETOS website under funding, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see any of the attachments, the link to the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation, trying to help you have several ways to get there. And this may be a little less time to turn in the LOI. We were really trying to get it all in one application, which is the reason we waited till the first part of August for the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation, who was creating it or had a whole new website to use. We just didn't want you to have to be in two different locations. So hopefully this will help, and the reduced amount needed on the LOI might help you be able to turn those in a little quicker. And I believe you have a full month to do the application once we respond back to you regarding the LOIs. That's on the timeline when that will happen, and then you'll have another month to finish the application or applications. But I want you to ask any questions along the way. Alex and Amy are both here on the meeting as well. So if it has anything to do with the content that you're putting, those would be kind of our questions, like what information we're looking for. If it's to do with the software or setting up an account, those go to Afton's support email, which Afton, can you please let us know what that is or where we can find that?
Yeah. I see the chat's not enabled, but yeah, the email is grants@growyourgiving.org. And that email address is hopefully everywhere on the system when you're in there. It's the grants@growyourgiving email address. And then also, I know the link that's on ETA's site brings you to the Community Foundations page, which also has our contact information on it. So yeah, either way, you can get a hold of us that way. The grants email address comes to me and then a team of people. So I'll likely be the one that responds, but if not, then there's always other people available that can help you with your technical